Hey guys, this is John Lee Hilliard from JT's Vending. Um, Thank you for deciding to watch this video today. This is our daily devotional for April 10th, 2024. So let's jump into the daily devotional. It's entitled Serving the Poor. There will always be poor people in the land. Therefore, I command you to be open handed toward your fellow Israelites who are poor and needy in your land. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. The motto, give a man a fish and he will eat for a day, teach a man to fish and he will eat for a lifetime, forms a foundation for the work of many charities and ministries as they strive to help the people they serve to grow progressively self-sufficient. So many of the poor in our midst need not just food for today, but encouragement, compassion, and a mentor to help them meet their challenges for a brighter tomorrow. So, as we try to follow the Bible's command to look after the poor, it might be a good idea to pray for wisdom about ways we might best help someone move toward a new level in life. That doesn't mean we should stop writing checks for immediate needs, but don't be afraid to get your hands a little dirty, to get creative with your giving. Whatever you do, ask God to help you meet the deepest needs of those around you. Mother Teresa reminds us we cannot do great things on this earth, only small things with great love. Father, I'm in awe of your compassion for the poor. Show me how to reach out to others with your compassion and love this month. May God add a blessing to the hearers and the doers of his word. So that was I like that one, serving the poor, because the Bible also tells you that there's no poor among you, and then Deuteronomy chapter 15 tells you that there will always be poor people in the land. So anyway, I don't want to go into all that with this devotional, but I will later. Anyway, but what it struck me with this, it says, ask God for wisdom, um, wisdom in ways that you might best serve the person. So that, as I was reading that, I was like, oh, that reminds me of a story I heard a while ago, and it was about a farmer who could understand animals. He could understand what animals were saying. And one evening, he stood next to his barn, and he he was listening to, I think it was an ox, or was it an ox? It was an ox, and it was a horse talking, and the ox was complaining to the horse that he has to pull the plow and help till the land, and the scraps were hurting his neck, and he works hard all day, and he needed a break. And the horse says, well, if you need a break, just when the farmer comes to get you in the morning to go to work, lie on the ground, lay on your side and moan and make a lot of noise, and they might give you a break and you won't have to work. So the next morning, that's exactly what the ox did. He fell on the ground and just moaned and making noise, and the farmer had already heard this conversation between the farmer and the horse. So he goes, go get the horse. The plowing must go on. So he scraps the horse to the plow and has the horse do the plowing for that day. So the horse gets back to the barn, and his friend the ox was like, man, I truly appreciate you giving me a break. Everyone needs a friend like you because I would have surely, died if I had to do it today. And the horse, he comes in stumbling, he's hurting, his neck is chafed, he's tired, the beating son, he had to do all this work. And the horse goes, um, you'll do the work from now on. Because I heard the farmer say to send for the butcher if you don't get up or are feeling well tomorrow. And the ox was, he was like, why would he say that? He was like, because you're lazy. This is the horse telling the ox, you're lazy and you complain entirely too much. And I hope you guys have by now, because it took me a second to get the moral of the story. But the horse started complaining about the ox being lazy and don't want to work, and the ox was like, well, you gave me a break. And he was like, well, I had to take on your job, I had to do your work, and it affected me, and now I'm hurting. So if you guys by now probably are smarter than me, it took me a minute to get the or to understand the moral of that story. And as I was reading the scripture today, that's what I thought about. I was like, oh, so if you guys don't know, the moral of that story is don't ask God for wisdom so that you won't take your friends or take on someone else's burden trying to help them. The ox, not the ox, sorry, the horse took on the ox's burden by plowing after the ox faked like he was sick and hurting and tired because he wanted a break, and the horse had to do all the work. So in a way, the horse was trying to help his friend, and in trying to help his friend, he ended up suffering and having to do all the work, and got mad at his friend. Like, no, you shouldn't have put yourself in a situation. And in human with humans, I said inhumans with humans. Like, if we're in a financial situation and our friends calling us and we go, well, I don't have enough. If you don't have enough to give generously with an open heart, don't give, because what you do, you're trying to give your money and you're putting someone in a deeper situation that they would not have been in if you wouldn't have tried to help. So ask God for wisdom when the scripture was saying, not scripture, when the passage was saying, what was it saying? Ask God for, here we go. Yeah, ask God for wisdom and pray for wisdom. So about how you can help people in the best way, because a lot of times we go about trying to help someone, and in helping them, we end up taking on their issues or their burdens, and it greatly affects us. And then now we have a falling out. When if we would have just prayed to God about how to help and best serve that person, we would have been shown, instead of just going, oh, no, I got, I'm a help. And then that help turns out to be, it was really harming them. So anyway, thank you guys so much. That was our daily devotional. I instantly thought of that when I was reading that passage. But that applies to us. Like, it's okay to help. It's okay to spend some time serving your fellow man. It's okay to volunteer some time. It's okay to give $1 or $2. But in most of us, our financial situations, we can't afford to give, $5,000-$6,000 to someone and because they need it, and then they put themselves back in that hole, or they use that money for something that can greatly harm them, and now we're taking on that additional burden, especially a financial burden, by giving that money away, knowing that they more than likely won't pay it back. And now it's a falling out. And the only reason I'm speaking from the financial side, because it happened to me with some family members. Um, loaning money to family members. If you can't give it with an open heart, don't give it, because it's going to start It's going to start unnecessary drama when you want your money back, and they go, "Man, I ain't giving you nothing." Now you're like, "Man, and then they get stuff from when you were kids, and they go, "Man, we were kids. Remember I gave you this candy?" So, just to keep down the drama and the confusion, make sure, pray to God for wisdom and how to help people and better serve people. And I guarantee you, if you pray to God for that, He will answer your prayers. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day. Au revoir. A bientôt. À la prochaine.